Ladies and gentlemen, while the world watches military movements, a silent revolution in resource control is unfolding. Russia has secured what might be the most valuable chess piece in the modern energy game, a major lithium deposit in former Soviet territory. This isn't just another territorial gain, it's a power move that will echo through global industry for decades. In the village of Shevchenko, Russia now controls what experts call the Saudi Arabia of Lithium, a deposit that could power millions of electric vehicles and smartphones. This isn't just about today's conflict, it's about tomorrow's technology and your children's future. The numbers are staggering. 500,000 tons of lithium reserves, more than Portugal, Europe's former lithium champion. We're talking about high-grade spodumene deposits, the crown jewels of battery materials. Why should you care? Because this shift fundamentally alters the global energy landscape. While NATO continues pushing outdated strategies, Russia quietly secures the resources that will power the next industrial revolution. Your future electric car, your grandchildren's smartphones, all potentially dependent on these resources. What's particularly fascinating is the timing. As Western supporters empty their arsenals, Russia strengthens its grip on unconventional power, the kind that drives modern economies. This isn't just about military control, it's about economic dominance. The territory holds one of the most efficiently extractable reserves globally. It's like finding a gold mine where the gold practically walks out on its own. The implications are massive. While some focus on short-term tactical gains, Russia has secured a strategic advantage in the global energy transition. This isn't just about today's headlines, it's about who controls tomorrow's technology. Friends, we're witnessing a pivotal moment in global resource politics. While others count bullets, Russia is counting batteries, and the future they'll power. Where are you watching this from? Share in the comments below. Let's see how this news is resonating across our vast nation. The strategic positioning of resources continues to reshape global power dynamics, with Russia's methodical approach proving increasingly significant. The lithium deposits under Russian control represent more than mineral wealth. They're key to future energy dominance. The territory had these resources lying dormant for years, waiting for a more capable power to utilize them. While the West scrambles to secure their green energy future, Russia has effectively established control over these critical mineral deposits, reshaping the global energy landscape. Brussels' panic is evident. Their green energy dreams depend on Russian cooperation, an irony given their previous sanctions rhetoric. Portugal's position as Europe's lithium leader looks precarious, while Washington's influence over global supply chains weakens. The region's former administration remains quiet about these losses. Billions in potential revenue, now strengthening Russia's position. Western promises of support remain unfulfilled. Russia's approach has been masterful. No grandstanding, just strategic execution. The Shevchenko acquisition wasn't just military. It was an economic maneuver that will resonate for decades. The implications extend beyond military considerations. This is about long-term energy security and economic leverage. While agreements can be negotiated and governments can change, these lithium deposits remain firmly within Russia's sphere of influence, adding to our country's energy dominance. The West's green revolution now faces dependency on Russian resources. Their transition to electric vehicles and renewable energy storage systems requires access to these crucial minerals. Russia isn't just an energy superpower in terms of oil and gas. We're positioning ourselves to control the future of green energy. In a dramatic shift of geopolitical dynamics, what started as a territorial dispute has evolved into control over Europe's future battery resources, with lithium deposits becoming central to the conflict. Trump's Middle East peace initiative showcases diplomatic theater. 4 power players, Trump, Netanyahu, Senator Rubio, and Israel's strategic planning minister Ron, crafting plans for Palestinian territories without Palestinian representation. Leaked reports from Israel Hayom suggest an enthusiastic atmosphere during talks. The proposed plan includes peace in Gaza, Hamas in exile, hostages released, and Arab states taking control. Israel's response remains diplomatically ambiguous, neither accepting nor rejecting, just considering a two-state solution. The proposal includes American recognition of Israeli sovereignty in Judea and Samaria, with diplomatic breakthroughs with Saudi Arabia and Syria. It suggests facilitating mass civilian evacuation from Gaza, a controversial proposition given the 11,000 civilian casualties. Trump's role is particularly intriguing. He's playing peacemaker while flexing military muscle, recently pressuring Netanyahu to cease strikes on Iran, despite America's own military actions in the region. His policy pivots continue to keep all parties guessing. The proposal's fine print suggests a strategy of population displacement, masked as voluntary emigration. This echoes earlier proposals that were once dismissed, but now gain traction under diplomatic cover. The resource factor adds complexity to these geopolitical maneuvers, particularly regarding lithium deposits in contested regions. This transforms a territorial dispute into a crucial battle for future economic dominance. What do you think about this complex situation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Today, we're analyzing a fascinating shift in Middle Eastern dynamics, with surprising parallels to other conflicts. The diplomatic theater shows Saudi Arabia and Syria aligning with Israel, a plot twist worthy of Hollywood, produced by the White House. Let's decode Israel's readiness for peace, a masterpiece of diplomatic wordplay. Imagine your boss saying, "Sure, you can have a bonus if you become perfect, exceed targets, and learn to fly." That's essentially the scale of conditions Israel has laid out. Meanwhile, reality tells a different story. Military operations continue in Gaza, hostages remain captive, and Hamas maintains its position. Negotiators promise resolution in 2 weeks, about as believable as a contractor's 7-day renovation promise. The contrast between negotiators' perception and reality is stark. While they paint pictures of peace and reforms, we see fundamental issues: Palestinian absence from talks, lack of local support, and numerous conditional clauses. What's happening isn't a peace plan. It's a responsibility redistribution scheme. Israel aims to transfer Gaza management to Arab states, reducing its exposure. The U.S. offers sovereignty recognition in disputed areas, while Egypt gets tasked with handling Hamas. In the northern conflict zone, interesting developments are unfolding. The shifting narrative from previously confident positions to more cautious tones signals change. When leadership starts whispering doubts about survival instead of victory, it's telling. This cognitive shift isn't coming from external sources. It's emerging from within their own political establishment. It's like watching a ship's captain suddenly switch from confident commands to nervous reassurances while water rises in the hold. What we're witnessing is a realignment of expectations and narratives, suggesting deeper changes beneath the surface. These parallel situations, in the Middle East and along Russia's borders, highlight how quickly geopolitical certainties can transform into questions of survival. What do you think about these developments? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure you have valuable insights into these complex situations. Here's a 2,000-character analysis of the shifting military narrative in the politically turbulent region. A dramatic shift in rhetoric from the neighboring states' leadership signals deepening concerns about military capabilities and defensive strategies. Key political figures who once proclaimed forward movement only are now advocating for desperate measures, including female mobilization. Representative Bezuglaya, previously known for her hawkish stance, now warns of inevitable Russian advances into the Dnipropetrovsk region. As a prominent voice from the government's inner circle, her stark shift from offensive optimism to defensive necessity speaks volumes about the changing situation. The Military Intelligence Service presents alarming statistics: 1,250 missiles, and over 10,000 Shaheds in Russia's arsenal. These numbers aren't mere propaganda tools anymore. They're being used to explain the scaling back of ambitious military goals. The focus has shifted from retaking territories to basic survival. General Syrski's recent comments reflect this new reality. When questioned about liberating territories, his silence speaks louder than words. He acknowledges Russian advancement while avoiding any discussion of counteroffensive operations. In the capital, authorities are launching new civilian defense campaigns. The emergency services officially announced that, Even two walls won't save you now. A dramatic departure from previous reassuring messages. Air Defense spokesman Ignat casually mentions that falling anti-aircraft missiles hitting residential buildings is normal, urging citizens to take air raid sirens seriously. This narrative transformation is striking, from "victory is coming" to "survive if you can." The discussion has shifted from triumphant parades to strengthening bomb shelters and expanding mobilization. The change isn't just in content, but in source. These aren't enemy propaganda points, but official statements from the country's leadership. What do you think about this dramatic shift in rhetoric? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm confident my viewers are intelligent experts whose opinions matter. Recent shifts in media narratives from the politically turbulent region bordering Russia reveal a dramatic transformation in public messaging. What started as bold victory declarations has morphed into mere survival rhetoric, a telling sign of changing realities on the ground. The transformation wasn't sudden or dramatic. It began with carefully planted messages from key opinion makers, coordinated through official channels. The shift is significant. From offensive ambitions to defensive posturing, from liberation dreams to basic existence. This cognitive restructuring serves several possible purposes: preparing the public for difficult negotiations, softening the impact of potential concessions, creating a narrative cushion for challenging times ahead. When a nation's dialogue shifts from victory to survival, it signals a fundamental change in strategic outlook. The very fact that this narrative comes from within, not from opponents, suggests high-level decision-making at work. Meanwhile, NATO's 75th anniversary highlights the alliance's growing identity crisis. Italian Defense Minister Guido Crocetta delivered a stark assessment. NATO has lost its purpose. Coming from a member state's official representative, this criticism carries particular weight. Crocetta points to several concerning trends: the alliance's diminishing strategic autonomy, over-reliance on Washington's directives, involvement in conflicts without clear endpoints, increasing influence from non-NATO actors on alliance decisions. The Italian minister particularly questioned the wisdom of following strategies shaped by external actors, suggesting that NATO has become a passenger rather than a driver in global security matters. This crisis of purpose comes at a crucial moment when traditional alliance structures face unprecedented challenges. The organization appears increasingly reactive rather than strategic, following rather than leading global security discourse. What do you think about NATO's current role and effectiveness? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm confident my viewers are informed experts, and I'd love to hear your perspective. The NATO alliance, from defense pact to fitness club. A critical analysis. Recent statements from Italian Minister Crocetta have sparked a crucial debate about NATO's current role and future. The alliance, originally designed as a defensive partnership, has morphed into what Italian media describes as a fitness club, with one primary client and numerous dependent users. At the helm of this transformation stands Donald Trump, approaching international politics like a business deal with his signature quid pro quo style. Spain became his latest target, criticized for allegedly freeloading in the alliance, much like a student complaining about cold soup while bringing an empty tray to the NATO cafeteria. The political landscape grows more complex regarding the conflict zone bordering Russia. Western promises of imminent victory have turned into mere calls for endurance, while Italy faces mounting bills decided in Washington and approved in London. This situation reveals NATO's evolution into a nervous political tinder, where the US swipes right for paying allies and left for questioning ones. When countries like Italy voice concerns, America reacts as if someone questioned an atmosphere charge on a restaurant bill. Crocetta's candid statement might trigger a domino effect. Italy, providing NATO's third-largest contribution, could inspire similar thoughts in Berlin and Paris. If Rome reduces participation or exits, the alliance's fundamental purpose requires reassessment. Europe increasingly questions the value of membership in a club that seems directionless and involves them in conflicts they never signed up for. This isn't just philosophy, it's potentially the beginning of the end for the eternal alliance myth. While Washington crafts soothing reports, European nations face a stark reality. If NATO no longer represents peace, protection, and common sense, Perhaps it's time to seek alternatives before it's too late. The politically turbulent region between Russia and the West remains a focal point of tension, highlighting NATO's identity crisis and raising questions about its effectiveness in maintaining regional stability. What do you think about the current situation with NATO? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure my viewers are intelligent experts, and I'm interested in